And welcome back. From one milestone celebration to another, we had a wonderful time sitting down with someone who's been giving back in more ways than one. Let's take a look back at our conversation with the founder of Kingsbridge Unidos, Jessica Altagracia Woolford. Welcome, welcome.
Thank you. Thank you, Dr. Bob Lee. It's always great to be here with you.
Nice to be here with you, too. Now, the last time you were here, we were talking about
Buckets.
the buckets.
Buckets for the Bronx.
Buckets for the Bronx.
Yes.
Refresh my memory.
Yes. Buckets for the Bronx. We've hosted 2 incredible free 3v3 high school basketball tournaments over the past few years. Our first one was right here at Lehman College. And we are getting ready to prepare for the 3rd annual Buckets, but that's not going to be till February because we really want this to be big. And you know, for the folks at Lehman listening, we're hoping they'll give us the main gym so that we can play under the lights. But
so we're just going to give you a little taste of that.
Yeah.
But give us a little background on yourself and how was it growing up, like in Kingsbridge?
Sure.
Queensbridge, Kingsbridge.
Kingsbridge.
I know, I'm from Queensbridge.
That's all right. We won't hold that
It's like
against
that.
you.
I represent Queens. She was raised out in
Kingsbridge. I was born and raised in Kingsbridge. You know, my grandma was a home health aide, and I remember taking all of those long walks because my up the hill because my mom worked at Loman's back in the day, and childcare was hard for a single mom, and so I spent a lot of time with my grandma cooking and following her at work, and she taught me from an early age that you care for people through food. Right. And so during the height of the pandemic in June of 2020, when folks were struggling with basics, where am I going to get groceries? Where am I going to get information, trusted information? We got to work. I fundraised from my professional network. I've been working in government service for over 10 years now and just organizing. And I asked folks, how can we come together and purchase wholesale produce from the Hunts Point Produce Market. So shout out to Dorigo and to the former GM, Phil Grant there, and former State Senator Alessandra Biaggi, who connected us with a really incredible vendor who we made some arrangements with, and we started essentially a free CSA program for the tenants in my grandma's building. And after knocking on doors and delivering produce, we started to ask families, what else could we help you with? Then we learned people just needed joy. They needed joy. They needed 5 minutes to themselves, and they needed to know that someone was thinking about them. So that's the start of Kingsbridge Unidos, and since then we've done basketball tournaments, we've distributed bikes, we're going to distribute some more bikes at this upcoming event I'm excited to tell you about, and we continue to grow. So we're marking 5 years, which is kind of bittersweet, but amazing.
Yeah, but what inspired you to start the Kingsbridge Unidos?
You know, I think...
when I think of Unidos, I think of uno, dos, tres, cuatro.
Uno, dos, tres, let's get to work. Yeah, let's get to work. You know, like I mentioned, for my grandma, and I grew up in a Dominican family, you really do gather around food. And I know you're talking to a lot of, you're talking to folks who are going to be talking about amazing food. Food is culture, food is celebration, but food is also connection. And so I saw that there was an opportunity to fill in a leadership void in our community, right? There was a chance for us to just start asking each other, what can we build together? We don't need to rely on policy. We don't need to rely on, you know, different interests. We can do it ourselves.
Talk about some of those services that you provide, though.
Yeah, sure. So, you know, we've distributed almost 100,000 pounds of produce over the last 5 years.
That's big.
Huge, because, you know, health is wealth, and that comes through produce and fresh foods. 2 years ago, we had a huge bike giveaway, children's bike giveaway on 3 Kings Day. Shout out to State Senator Gustavo Rivera, who helped us secure an incredible space in Marble Hill, and we had over 200 people there. We raffled 26 children's bikes that we rescued from a former bike shop. We rehabbed them thanks to I don't even know how many hours these volunteers put into repairing those bikes to make sure they were safe and they were ready to ride. We partnered with the New York City Department of Transportation to make sure that kids had helmets, they had, you know, lights, and the parents felt, okay, I'm all right with my kid taking off on this bike.
And ride those bike lanes.
Yeah, we need more bike lanes, of course. And then we've done Buckets for the Bronx, which has been I grew up playing basketball. I played basketball in Van Cortlandt. I played in high school until I messed up my knee, so I don't jump anymore. But, basketball also, what we started to learn from organizing with folks is people want to just play.
We're playing basketball.
Yes. They want to vibe. They want music. They want community. They want somewhere to go with their friends, somewhere safe to play. So buckets has been a huge part of Kingsbridge Unidos' growth. And as we're looking ahead to the next 5 years, it's becoming clearer to me that the direction for us is to create a third space.
Yeah. Do they still use that term, buckets or baskets?
We still use it. We still use buckets, but maybe I'm an elder millennial, so I don't know.
No, well, we're gonna mix it in so everybody knows what it is.
Yes, exactly. Buckets.
It's
the
buckets,
swish.
the basket.
It's that.
Swit.
Yeah. Of course.
So you have you did the things for the Three Kings. Of course, that's in December, January after Christmas, the Three Kings Christmas. And then you have something coming up now.
We do. On
April 26th.
April 26th, we hope to see you. We hope to see the folks in studio. But on April 26th from 12 to 3 at Van Cortlandt Park by the handball courts and the basketball courts, because we are in the Bronx, we're going to be inviting everybody who's ever come to an event, who's been curious about an event, who lives in the neighborhood, come together, eat some good food, and talk about what have we done these last 5 years? What do we want to do next? Because I firmly believe in Kingsbridge Unidos is rooted in leading, letting folks lead, right? Letting folks who are impacted, the parents, the kids. We often dismiss the views of young folks. We're like, we know better. I don't know better. I don't know what it's like to be a 17-year-old in the Bronx right now, post-COVID. And so we want to make sure that as we build for the future, we're inviting folks to shape that.
Yeah. What does it look like for the next 5 years?
Well, my hope is to raise a lot of money and build a third space. And by third space, I mean, I grew up going to St. John's and going to Mass with my family. Visitation has closed down. There are a lot of institutions of faith that are closing in our communities, and there aren't enough community centers. So when I mentioned, Senator Gustavo Rivera, I called him and I was like, we need a space to give away and repair some bikes. And thankfully, he's a creative guy, and he got on the phone, and through a connection with Essen Health, we found a location that we were able to use, but it's too hard to find places to gather. I'm not someone who wants to go to the bar all the time. I don't want to go, that can't be the only space for us to gather. We
Senator
need to
Gustavo, he's a great guy.
He is. He's
really
a gem.
He's
a
I like
gem.
him a lot.
Yeah.
So you have that coming up. What should people expect?
Oh, people should expect good food, because that's what we do.
I'll be there.
We're gonna be there. We're gonna give away some children's bikes, so we're gonna raffle off some bikes. And I've been debating this with some friends. I don't know what we call them, but we're gonna give away a granny cart. I don't know what you guys call them. But in Spanish, we call them just a coche.
Coche.
The little carts to do your shopping and your compra.
A stroller.
Yeah, well, not a stroller. But
Shopping cart.
A shopping cart, right. So we're going to give away
strollers as shopping carts, too.
That's true.
Some
true.
people.
You got to be creative. So
got to get the food home.
You got to get it home somehow. Exactly. So we'll be giving away some fun stuff. We'll have some family-friendly activities, play some basketball, and we're just going to break bread. And have some good vibes. So from 12 to 3 at Van Cortlandt on Broadway by the stadium.
And that's on the 26th
That's
of
on
April.
Saturday the 26th. So after Easter, so you have time.
There you go.
Yes.
All right.
Yeah.
You got website and everything. Here it is right here. Look.
Yes,
look.
yes. Here's our poster. Thank you
From
for sharing
day one
that.
to year 5.
Yes, and if folks have questions or if they're interested in sponsoring anything for the event, you can email me at saludos, which is SALUDOS. That means hello in Spanish. Saludos at kingsbridgeunidos.org. I'm also on Instagram at Jessica.Altagracia. I read my DMs. Unless you're funny, I'm not reading it. But, we really want to make sure that folks have a chance to share the good vibes, take stock, celebrate. Haram, who has been an incredible partner of mine from Cash Cow NYC, shout out to him. We often talk about how hard it is for us to take a moment and just look around and celebrate what you've done. And so that's what this is. It's a thank you. Thank you. Let's move forward in gratitude.
And thank you for coming.
Thank you.
Jessica Altagracia.
Thank you so much.
Gracias. World Food founder, Kingsbridge Unidos.
Thank you.
We appreciate you.
Thank
Come
you.
back again, okay?
I will. I definitely will. Thank you so much.
If you're still playing, I have a basketball in the car.
Let's go. I keep a ball in my trunk.
Yeah.
So.
That's how you do it. Congratulations on your 5-year anniversary, Jessica. And thank you for the work that you're doing in our community. You're helping others get what they need out of life, and I think that's a wonderful thing. We wish you continued success with the Kingsbridge Unidos and all of your endeavors. We appreciate you.